Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Resin. Today we have kind of a fun project to do. It's kind of something a little style that's kind of not something I normally do, but we're going to do a little bit more of a modern little decorations, something that you might set out on your shelf, or if you know somebody who has a really modern decor, this might be a great gift. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this set of 3. And I believe I bought these on Temu, and I'm pretty sure that I had to buy them individually. They did not come in a set. And so, yeah, but they had a few different ones to choose from. So we're going to make this set of 3. And then we're also going to make a magnet. Okay, we're going to make these a little thicker because you can see they're, gosh, probably about an inch thick. And so we're going to make these to stand up. And then we're going to make this one here is going to be just thick enough to cover all of the design, okay? So we don't want that one very thick. And I tried one of these the other day just for fun. And gosh, it was so much fun that I thought I've got to share this with you guys. So I've got 7 ounces of resin made up. And I'm going to save, I think, about maybe a half an ounce or so for that magnet. Half an ounce to an ounce or so. I think this one's going to need a couple of ounces at least. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe maybe 3 ounces. I think we'll do, sorry about that. I gotta do my quick math here. I want to do 3 ounces and 1.5 ounces each, I think is what I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 ounces in this one. It should be big enough for it to stand up. That's about 2 ounces or so. Okay. And then we're going to do about 1.5 ounces in this one. Okay, that's right at about 1.5 ounces. That might not be quite enough. Okay, this one needs a bit more. All right, so now what we're going to do is for this larger one, I decided that I'm going to do this one in black. So I've got my black Sig Wong mica powder out here. And if it's too much, then I might just make my magnet might also be black. Oops, I need a dry stick. I'm going to do a couple of scoops in there. And I may need to add some India ink if I want this to be a bit more opaque. I'm going to add just a couple of drops of this India ink. It's not going to need much, but I want it to be really a nice black. Okay, there we go. Looks like a pretty good black shade. I like to kind of clean up as I go. Hoping to do some rearranging here at my studio that I have here in Arizona. When I was in Oregon, I had such a nice, great big workspace. It was just wonderful. And I've got a nice workspace here too, but I'm just kind of, because most of my stuff is here and not there, I'm running out of room. I got to organize a bit. Okay, I'm going to spray a bit of alcohol in there, let that sit. Spray well, actually, you know what? Let's make up the other colors first before I start spraying the molds. Clean that out, even though it's going to be black anyway. Okay, so now we've got these. So let's do this one. Okay, we'll do this purple, Sig Wong purple. And I do have my ceiling fan on. That might be one reason why I've got mica powder flying. Mix this really good. That's really a pretty purple. see here? A really pretty shade. It is just a bit too translucent. And what do I want to add to that? I might add a couple of drops of my opaque blue Cast and Craft. Okay, just to kind of give it a little bit more of an opaque. Did 3 drops. See what that does. Kind of a, gosh, I don't know, what is that? Like a violet almost. All right, wow, that's really pretty. It's kind of a violet, color, I think. Okay, so do that one maybe in this color. And I don't know, do we want to do like a green maybe for the other one, for this one? Here we go, dark green. We'll do dark green, Sigwang dark green. Couple scoops of that too. I think this will be a really pretty color too. It'll go well with the combination, I hope. Okay, that's actually pretty opaque. Is that going to be too bright together? Black and no, I think that's going to be okay. It comes down off the stick pretty well. It's not translucent, so that's what we want. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, we got our 3 colors. Do a quick spray of alcohol down here. Clean up my mess really quickly. Okay, come back and do a better job later, but okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to spray these really lightly from back here. Okay, and let's start with this bigger face. Spray my nose real quick. And we're just going to go in through the nose so we don't get any bubbles. Yeah, these are just, they turn out really pretty. Let's see, how am I doing that? Do I need much more? It's pretty thin. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and put the whole thing in here so that it's thick enough to stand up. I was going to say if we had enough to do our magnet, I would just go ahead and do that. But I did save out that I've got about 1 ounce over here saved out for that. Okay. These are really easy to make. You could paint these with mica powders. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe that's what we'll do with that magnet. That could be really pretty. Maybe we'll paint that one with the other one with mica powders for our magnet. So I was trying to figure out what color to do, and that could actually be just right. Okay, there's our black one. We're going to scoot that out of the way. Here's our little blue one. Spray that one more time. I think my alcohol kind of evaporated there. And this is a really tiny little lines in this. One in here, hopefully get in through that nose and the mouth. And the eyes. Wow, that is a really pretty color. Pour all this all the way. Also, don't want any of that black getting in there. Okay. There we go. That one. Okay, set this one over here. And then last but not least, we've got our green for these. Just a fine mist. And a little mouth. And the nose and the eyes. I think size-wise, as far as the amount of ounces we used, you know, you see we did not go all the way full. you could do about twice what we did. I feel like this one would take about 6 ounces of resin. We used 3. We used 1.5 ounces on each of these. And I feel like they could take probably easy another ounce or so. But for me, I feel like if we can get them to stand up for the purpose we want, and they're stable, then I'm all for just saving, you know, the resin. There's no reason to go all the way to the top, but they are deep enough that if you wanted to, you could, or if you wanted to put dried flowers or something inside, gosh, you probably got plenty of room for that too. Definitely would change the whole look of it. Okay, so here they are. Grab this real quick. Resin off of here. Set it aside. I'm going to kind of plop it down a little bit since I've got little crevices in here. And make sure that those are all good. And we'll give it another quick spray of alcohol over the tops. There we go. Okay. So now let's work on this one. Gosh. Okay, let's do, I think, you know what? I want to do my favorite dragon eye color here with this. Oh, no, I guess I won't. Not this one. That one's empty. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use the fairy dust. This one's also really pretty. Find a paintbrush here. We'll use this one with a tip about this big. Kind of bend it back and forth. Sometimes they get a little stiff sitting there a while. Haven't used them for a bit. So I'm just going to do this whole thing in this color. I think it's going to be really pretty. You could do different colors if you wanted to, because it's got different, this particular mold has different heights to it. Depths, if you will. Here we go. We're not going to go too high up on this because, you know, we're just doing a magnet. So get my lid back on this. Do have a little bit of overage, so I'm going to dump it out. There we go. It works out pretty well. Look at this. Look how pretty. This is why I just love their Super Chameleons. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we've got this little bit here that we saved out, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here so I can mix it with my black. Okay, so now we're going to add some more of the black Sig Wong mica powder. Bit of purple on here, but that's okay. Not enough of it to matter. But I want this to be really black. Bring out those chameleon powders the best way. Okay, so it's pretty black, nice and opaque. I don't need to add any India ink to this, so I'm not going to. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pour this. Add one little spray of alcohol in there. Spray these again. Okay, so now we've got a couple of little intricate, tiny areas here in the eyes, around these little lips. Like I said before, this does not need to be very thick, but definitely want it to be enough to cover the whole thing. Okay, that's just perfect. Okay, that was 1 ounce. It's going to be just right for my magnet. There we go. All right, so I'm going to watch these. I'm probably going to come back with my heat gun or my alcohol and just give everything like one more spray as those little bubbles come up out the center, which, you know, we're using mica powders, and I feel like when you're using mica powders, you do tend to get, you know, bubbles come up as it's all settling, especially if you don't get it mixed quite well enough. You know, mix it, make sure you're mixing it in really well. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so, oh gosh, you guys, I'm just really excited about this one. I think you're gonna love it. I was so happy with the little practice one that I did. So yeah, I'll be anxious to get these unmolded and share them with you. And we'll do the last step. Okay, we're not, even when we unmold them, we're not done yet. So, all right, I'll be back. See you in a bit. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm back. Everything is completely cured. And I'm so excited to get these out of here and show you how cute these can be. Okay, so let's start with this green one here. And they come out of the mold super easy. Don't need any kind of mold release. They're really shiny. You know, these are great molds, I think. Okay, let's turn this one over and see how it looks. Oh, that's pretty cool looking. Pretty cool. So we do have one little bubble here, right at the corner of the eye. I don't see any other bubbles. Everything else is really smooth. And this one doesn't really affect the look of it much from the top, but you can just see it kind of down in this corner here. But yeah, that's really cool, really fun. Okay, so we've got that one. Let's get our blue one out. This is such a pretty blue, almost like a violet, because we added, there's purple and blue together in this one. And here's this one. Gosh, okay, so we've got a few little micro bubbles in this one around the edges here. I know I sprayed that with alcohol, but I might have, this might be caused from all the mica powder. Sometimes that happens if you've got too much mica powder, but it's still pretty cool looking. I still love the color, and we're still going to decorate it just as if it didn't have that. And we could do a top coat of resin to kind of get rid of that, but right now, just for the sake of showing you these, I'm not going to worry too much about those bubbles. Okay, and here's the last one. This is the big one in black. Oh gosh, that turned out really cool. No bubbles or anything that I see in this. Actually pretty shiny and glossy. That's actually really pretty. Okay, so here they are. Here is the 4 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in with this paint marker with this gold Deco color. Okay, and I'll show you just kind of what I like about these, because you can take this marker and just kind of lightly go over. You can really turn this into an artistic looking piece with really little effort. Having these lines really raised like this definitely help. So I'm going to go around the eye. Okay, and even the top. I decided not to try to do black on the eye. I'm just going to leave it all gold. Okay. And then I'm going to come around the outside of it. Really simple. See, look at how that brings out all the features of this little face. Just so quick. Quick and easy. What a big difference. What a big difference it makes. This is definitely a much more modern or contemporary look. But look at the difference here and here. So we're going to keep going with that. Do this one as well. And this one's going to look a little different with the bubbles on it. Okay, you guys, I kind of lost you there in my feed. Sorry about that. I had to go in and empty out some old storage that I had. I hadn't done that since I got this camera. So yeah, I needed to go make room. But anyway, sorry about that. I did lose you, but I went ahead and I did the black and finished these all up. And here they would be sitting. Now, the black one I thought was actually kind of cool, even without any kind of, any kind of a trim on it. And I just did this part of the eyes. You could go in, you see how they kind of come to, points here. I didn't go that far with the gold, but you certainly could. Okay. But yeah, what do you think? These are definitely very modern look. But maybe kind of fun to set the three of them up somewhere, just on a little shelf if you've got little like knick-knacky type of shelf or something somewhere. Or, maybe a fun gift for somebody who's really likes modern decor. So anyway, there is that. Now, those are the ones that we were going to set up like this. And that's fun together because they're all different heights. And I will bring you down. We'll set those up and I'll bring you down here when we're done. But I wanted to show you the first one that I made was this one here. And I was just totally intrigued by it. And I made this one pretty thin so that I could make a magnet out of this. It's quite a bit thinner than this green one here. I don't know if you can tell, but it does still stand up a bit. But I wanted to make a magnet. And so if you remember, we also poured the chameleon mica powders, the super powders, painted that on this one, and then we filled it in with black. So this is going to also be a magnet, unless we decide that we want to stand it up with these other two. We could do that as well. Need to clean that mold out a bit, but let's see how this one turned out. Okay, gosh, we got some more little micro bubbles, but that is pretty cool too. That's pretty awesome, actually. So, yeah. Yep, that's not wide enough here on this part of the base to stand it up. I don't really think so. I could put a little stand on it if I want to do it. Or if I wanted to make it like this, I would simply just need to add more resin to my mold and make it a bit thicker. Okay, so, oops, I got a pin out here. Let me think about how we want to trim this one. It's definitely a bit different than this type, but I think it definitely needs something, even though the super chameleons are really cool. But let's start with going around let's start with going around the inside. So before I do any more, I need to come in here and clean up this part of the eye that I made kind of a mess on. I'm going to take a little cotton bud and use my 91% alcohol. Just clean this up real quick. Okay, that cleaned up pretty well, and now I can go ahead and finish my trim, and I'm almost done with this part. Okay, so here it is with the gold trim painted on it, and what do you think? What do you think about this? It's kind of definitely almost maybe tribal looking, this one. But what I did is I have these magnets that I bought on Temu. They're just regular, like rare earth, pretty strong magnets. They're not very big, but they are pretty powerful. They're just little guys that are only about this big. I was going to just use my Loctite glue. Not sure I can get this off of here. The lid. Well, I think I'm going to just probably have to use just a bit of UV resin and glue these on. So I'm gonna have to go get my light. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, these are all done. They're on there nice and secure, and they will stick now to the refrigerator or wherever I'd like to put them. They're still kind of just fun, right? So those are cool, and these are just so fun. I'm a bit bummed about the air bubbles, but you know what? That just happens sometimes. And I know on this one that I probably had too much mica powder. But let's look and see how big these are. This is about about 3.5 inches square. Okay, this guy is just kind of fun. And this one here is, gosh, almost 4 inches. This one's 3 inches. So anyway, guys, all right, well, I'm going to take you off the camera stand and show you what these look like standing up. But I hope you really had fun with these. Just something really different, huh? And yeah, super fun project. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you had fun with this. I hope it inspires you. If you try these, let me know what you decide to do with them. Maybe you've got a completely different idea of how you would do it. But I'd love to know. So anyway, thanks again, and I will see you all next time.